My channel is not overtly political, but I would like to give my prediction for tomorrow's election. I will base my prediction on real clear political polling averages and past trends. I do not want to influence your vote, so I won't tell you who I voted for or try to persuade you to vote for any candidate. First, let's look at a map that leaves the battleground states blank. The Democrats lead with 226 electoral votes, to the Republicans 219. Let's start with the West Coast and Nevada. Trump is up in the polls by an average of 1 point. The 2020 polling data showed that the RCP average was spot on, as the polls had Biden winning the state by 2.4%, and he won the state by precisely that. When we go back to 2016, the polls had Trump up by less than a point, but Clinton won the state by 2.4%. The current polling data in Arizona shows that Trump is ahead by 2.7%. When we go back to 2020, the polls were pretty close. They had Biden winning by 0.8%, and he won the state by 0.3%. So Trump was only underestimated by 0.6%. In 2016, the polls showed Trump winning by 4%, and it was close, as Trump won the state by 3.6%. The current polling data in Wisconsin shows that Harris is ahead by 0.4%. When we go back to 2020, the polls were off by 6% as they showed Biden winning by 6.7%, but he only won by 0.7%. In 2016, Clinton was ahead by 6.5%, but Trump won the state by 0.7%. In Michigan, Harris is up in the polling average by 0.6%. In 2020, the polls had Biden up by 4.2%, but he only won the state by 2.8%. In 2016, the polls had Clinton up by 3.6%, but Trump won the state by 0.3%. The current polling data in Pennsylvania shows Trump ahead in the state by 0.3%. In 2020, the polls were spot on as Biden was ahead by 1.2%, which is what he won the state by. In 2016, however, the polls were off as they had Clinton up 2.1%, but Trump won the state by 0.7%. Then, we come to the final battleground state that we will look at, North Carolina. Trump is ahead by 1.5%. Incidentally, North Carolina is the only battleground state that Trump won in 2020 and 2016. In 2020, the polls showed Trump winning by 0.2%, but he won the state by 1.3%, whereas in 2016 the polls had him ahead 0.8%, but he won the state by 3.6%. What can we take away from the polls from the last 3 elections? First, the polls underestimate Trump and Republicans by a significant margin, sometimes by as much as 3%. We also look at the pollsters' biases. Rasmussen is a right-leaning pollster, while Quinnipiac is a left-leaning pollster. It seems that Atlas Intel was the most accurate pollster in the last presidential election. Considering all these factors, my prediction for tomorrow's election is that Trump will win with 312 electoral votes to Kamala Harris 226. I want to stress that this isn't necessarily what I want to happen, only what I think will happen. I encourage you to get out and vote no matter what you think will actually happen. If you haven't voted already, get out and vote, and let's see democracy work in another election cycle. That was our show for today. What did you think? Have you voted already? If not, get to the polls while you can and vote for the candidate of your choice. Until next time, this is Axel for Kevin Given, asking you to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to stay informed, and check out my Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise. Also, in the comments section, until next time, live long and prosper, may the force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.